There are some of the 10 Commandments that feel really easy to dismiss. When you first glance at them, well, you may imagine that some of the commandments, they don't apply to you. Here at Sycamore Creek, we have some awesome people. And in particular, you might think this about the commandment we're going to address today: do not steal. There's no way, right, that this will be helpful to us or even relate to us. Do not steal? We're not a bunch of thieves. Hold that thought. Because what I think we will find today, and what we've been finding each week as we've been studying the 10 Commandments, is that each of these guidelines or guardrails for life are a shorthand. There's a depth of meaning and impact to each of the commandments. They're telling us something about what God's will and God's expectations are for every single one of us. There's a depth of these commandments that we get to through the Old Testament, the Hebrew Scriptures, but there's even more depth when we get to the New Testament and the teachings of Jesus. And so as we listen today to Jesus and what he says about the commandments, well, Jesus tends to take these commandments, right, and flip them on their heads and not just tell us to avoid something, but Jesus gives us something positive to do. So today we're going to be talking about the commandment to not steal, and we'll move toward justice. And maybe God has something to say to you today about stealing. But first, let's quickly review the commandments we've covered so far and the main positive word behind each commandment. We've asked you to memorize the commandments as we go, so let's see how you do with them. Will you say these with me? You must have no other gods before me. That's faith. Do not make an idol for yourself. That's trust. Do not use the Lord your God's name as if it were of no significance. That's integrity. Remember the Sabbath day and treat it as holy. That's rest. Honor your father and mother. That's family. Do not kill. That's love. Do not commit adultery. That's faithfulness. Let's take a moment and pause on what we've covered so far in this series. Here's a question for you for discussion. How are you doing with memorizing the 10 Commandments? I invite you to take a moment and to work on reviewing them together. Let's pause a moment and do that.